What is up, guys? This is Justin, aka FMDigi, and I am here to finally announce the release of my United States ProRel 9-tier database. That's a lot of things, but I wanted to show you this video. It's been released. My good friends over at Passion for FM, Espen, has been so kind as to help me with this release, but I did want to get a video kind of showcasing some of the cool things with the database. So let's get into it. Okay, here we are. You start the game up. You're like, cool, I want to play this. How do I play it? Well, okay. I'm assuming you've already come over. There's a link down below to Passion for FM. Go get the database. You know what to do, just download it, and there are instructions in the site as to how to install it, so or to get it back to where it should be on your computer. But here we are, we've already downloaded it, and I will show you how to get started and kind of give you a little tour around the game itself. So we're going to start a new game, we're going to pick career, and you're going to be presented with this screen. Now, only reason I'm seeing this screen over and additionally of seeing all the teams here is because I've already got databases selected in here because it remembers what you did last time. So if you see teams in here, for example, let's do that. Let's show you what that would look like. So if you see a screen like this, don't worry, just click up here, Football Manager 2021, and we are going to pick, you can see here I've got a couple of preview. You guys are getting a preview for my next series, Chandler FC. There's the database. We're going to pick this one here, the CONCACAF Champions League, and we're going to pick this one. This is the ProRel database for United States. Okay, and we're going to go down, hit Advanced Setup. It's going to load the game a little bit quick, and what you're going to see next is going to be specific just to me. For whatever reason, it thinks I live in Canada. I don't. I'm an American player, but regardless. So I'm going to tick these guys off, and you can see United States, there is no MLS. These are all the leagues in here. So you can start at the bottom, you can pick whichever one you want, and if you wanted to add more leagues, you could certainly do that in here. I'm not, and I'm going to keep it at a small database just to keep the load time low. I would suggest ticking this box, add players to playable teams. The rest of them you can do as you like, and you pick your start date. You can pick early, late, or the start of the season. I'm going to pick early preseason and hit start game. Okay, now you're going to come back after that's loaded in. It's going to ask you to create a head coach profile. I'm assuming you're a Football Manager player, you've already done this, so I'm going to use my existing profile. This will be the one you'll see in the Chandler FC series. This will be FMDigi, brand new, bunch of nothing. We're going to use this, and then you can pick your club. As you can see, there's many different leagues in here. From Premier League, there's Championship, and then all these teams. You got your League 1, your League 2, Detroit City, had some fun with them last year, as well as Forward Madison. Oh, they're in a different league. League 2, then U.S. National Premier, U.S. National Division 1, U.S. National Division 2, and we get into the U.S. lower leagues. We have Northern, Central, Southern, and Western Premier Leagues, and then lastly, we have the national lower leagues. We have the Atlantic, Central, Mountain, Pacific, Southern, and Valley national leagues. I am going to actually start unemployed so we can get a good look at the entirety of the thing, and it's going to save, and you're presented with the same screen you always see. But what I do want to get into is see some of these leagues in focus. So we'll start out with the United States Premier League. I've given it a fairly high reputation, mainly being because the end goal of this not only is to make a database that I think is way cooler than the MLS right now, but I want to make the United States men's national team better than it currently is. Everyone knows kind of not doing so well, and I think that if we can attract better players, keep some of the homegrown talent here in the United States instead of going to Europe and elsewhere, that we can I hate to say it, make America great. I won't say again because I don't believe they ever really were. But one thing you'll notice here, I do have logos in here. That's because I've already installed a logo pack. This is actually from FM20 I installed, and I apologize. I don't know the name of the pack since it was last year, and it's just under logos. So I don't have the name of the creator who did that. But you'll see all of these are here, except for Inter Miami. This is a weird thing that happened with the database. The only outstanding issue in the database now that I wish SI had fixed, but you cannot actually play with Inter Miami or Nashville. They're down in the league below out of the box in this because they're hard-coded to be part of the MLS for the first year, which is weird. I've removed the MLS and all previous leagues from the database, so they're not even mentioned here. So to get Inter Miami to be playable, I had to recreate it from scratch. If you will notice, any team, and I've done this to help me with getting the database to work correctly, every team has an ID assigned to it, and because it's a new ID, the logo pack I already have does not recognize this as Inter Miami, so you'll see that. Inter Miami and Nashville are brand new created teams. I copied everything from the existing team over into this, including players and coaches. Although it's weird because the coach did not come over. I'm not sure why, but whatever. So you can see here we have the United States Premier League, and you'll also see that there's only one spot for the champion. There's no other spots here. I am using my Champions League database, which I will mention later, but in that the top 4 get access to the group stages of the Champions League. It just doesn't, for whatever reason, show up here in the league table. And you can see the bottom 3 teams are relegated. They are relegated down to the United States Championship, in which we have a champion, the second place team is promoted, and then the next 4 compete for that one spot to get promoted as well. And there are 3 relegation spots here in the championship. We'll go down into League 1, and it's the first 2 are promoted. The playoffs will go for these 4 teams to fight out for the 1, and then there are 4 relegation spots here. So there's 4 relegation spots. There's 4 teams coming up from League 2, and we have that top 3, and then a 6-team tournament to determine that team. So potentially the 9th place team can get promoted into League 1. They only do have 2 relegation spots, and they will go into the United States National League Premier, where there'll be 1 team automatically promoted, and then a battle of these 6 teams here, 3 to be relegated. It is the same, not the same in National League Division 1. We have 2 teams going up automatically, and then a 6-team playoff, 3 teams going down, and then we have the National League Division 2. This would be, let me see, this is the 7th tier. Yes, this is the 7th tier here. So this is equivalent, I believe, to the Vanarama National North and South Leagues. So you can see here we have total of 2 teams going up, and then 1 team out of these 6 going up as well. And we have a 5-team relegation. Now, the way that works here in the United States lower leagues, I've called it, there is 1 team automatically promoted, and then there's 4 teams in this region, this group of United States lower leagues. So there's 1 team promoted from each of these tiers. The champion gets promoted, and then the next 2 teams from each the 4 divisions will go into a 8-team playoff to determine 1 more team. So that's the 5 to get you back into the National League Division 2. So we'll take a look at those. We have the Northern Premier League. There's also 4 spots relegated in here. And you'll see we have the Central Premier League, we have the Southern Premier League, and we have the Western Premier League. All of these lower tiered leagues are regionalized. So you're going to see a lot of these Western teams are going to be in the western part of the United States, That is the one big enhancement I've made this year over my previous year, is because I didn't like the fact that a team from Los Angeles was in the league with a team from Miami. They're, poor lower league side. They really shouldn't be traveling across the country. In the United States, there is far more teams in the eastern part of the United States than in the western part of the United States, just because there's more people. So it doesn't make sense to do that. So I have regionalized these leagues. As teams get promoted, relegated, and moved around, they will kind of tweak a little bit. They should stay kind of in their regions. There are going to be exceptions where, let's say a bunch of eastern teams get promoted up or relegated down. There's going to be a kind of a weird number of teams. So you might see teams from outside this region kind of sneak in just because it has to fill the 22 spots. But that's the way it happens in real life. So I can't do much about that. But yeah, you can see here there is these promotion. The playoff is going to be really fun because you're going to play teams not in your division to try to get up to the National League. To the tier above. And then these 4 teams, there's 4 teams in each one of these leagues, so 16 altogether, are going to get relegated into the United States National Lower Leagues. Here we're going to start with the Atlantic. There are 2 teams promoted automatically. There are 6 of these leagues. So there's 2 going to be promoted. That's 12 automatic promotion spots. And then there's 4 spots left for the remaining. There's 3 per. So let's do some math. There's 18. So there's 4 spots from 18 clubs that get pumped up. And you see there's no relegation. This is the bottom of the pyramid. You can just stay in here forever. And in my testing, I have seen a few teams stay in here forever. So we'll take a look. Atlantic National League. We have the Central National League. These are teams pretty much in the central part of the United States, Midwest as you would call it. The Mountain National League that is going to cover, actually this is where Chandler FC will live in this one. I've gotten rid of one of these clubs, I honestly can't remember, and put Chandler FC in here, so this will be fun. This is where Chandler FC is going to start in the Mountain National. And then we have your Pacific, which is basically California, Washington, Oregon. I believe that's everyone. And Southern, which is kind of Southern United States. And then Valley, which is kind of your Pennsylvania, Ohio, some of those other teams. I tried to fit them in as best I can. You're going to see some Carolinas in there. Just because there are so many clubs on the East Coast and east side of the United States, I kind of had to split it up geographically like that. And so I've also got some cups going on too. So let's show you those cups. We have the United States Football Association Cup, which is the equivalent to the English FA Cup. I need to do something about it. I didn't realize I had left those in there. I was testing around with playing past winners, and it's weird it has it in there twice. But this is open to every single team almost every single team in the leagues. It will only take the top 8 from the previous season of those last national lower league teams. So, but basically there's first round, second round, third, fourth, fifth, quarterfinal, semifinal, final. Altogether, I believe it's a lot of teams. It's a lot of teams. So we're going to have that. That is the most prestigious cup in the United States. And then we have the United States National Cup, which is open to all teams below League 2, from League 2 to the divisional league, Division 2, National Premier Division 2 leagues. The bottom 2 tiers do not have a cup. I'm thinking about adding one in. I honestly just haven't gotten around to it. So hopefully that'll do soon. And then we do have the United States League Cup, which is Premier League through League 2. The top 4 tiers essentially get placed into here. Think of this as the Carabao Cup, if you will. And that is basically the database. Now, I did want to show you as well, I've done the CONCACAF Champions League. I've made that a little bit better than it currently is. You can see here, it's already got a champion, but right now in real life, this is a 16-team tournament with only a handful of countries represented. There's 4 United States teams. I think there's 4 teams from Mexico. So half of the clubs are from 2 countries. I didn't really feel that was fair. So what I've done is I've created basically mimicked the European Champions League and kind of created this mess here. We're going to have your preliminary round, first qualifying, second qualifying, third qualifying. This is countries, in the Caribbean and Central America who, a little bit smaller, but everyone gets a chance. It's going to pull the league winner from each one of those. Group stage is where the big dogs play. This is where United States enters. This is where Mexico enters. So yeah, there's big money to be had here for wins and draws, even appearances as well. And then you're going to get first round, quarterfinal, semifinal, and final, where there is some big money to be had. I'm excited about this one. Not much different in this one from last year. I did change the name to mimic, I think I named it North American Champions League last year. So this one mimics what it's really called in real life. So yeah, if you add both of those 2 databases that I put in the beginning, you'll be able to play with the 9-tier database and as well play with this Champions League file there. I did want to show you some hints. If you're still around, you deserve to see some hints. Now, there is one club in here who constantly comes up, Carolina. They constantly come up as doing really well, and they are these guys. If you're looking for a quick kind of, I don't know why it is these guys, they get, I believe in my testing, they get either 4 or 5 promotions in a row. They're an amateur club with not a lot of money, but somehow they're doing it. This is one who I think will be a fun save for anyone who wants to, kind of get into the middle tiers and then cause some damage with a hot riser. Also, Reading is another one. Reading United, they are in the Valley National League. This is one I've seen make about 4 or 5 straight promotions in a row and then go hang out in whatever tier they land in and then go down to relegations in a row. So this one looked to be a fun one too. Amateur side, these are 2 that I've seen in testing that make a rapid advance and then not so much. I do want to show you one who will not have a good time, and let's show that. Okay, we have here Birmingham Legion FC. I'm not sure why, but these guys are, in my testing, have been relegated like 4 years in a row. They kind of settle down into the 5th, 6th tier. So if you're looking for a bit of a challenging save, these guys might be the ones to go with. Just FYI, I basically sorted all of my teams based on reputation. So these stars right here, there's a numeric value given in the back end. So the top 20 of those teams were placed in the Premier League, the next 24 in here. So Birmingham Legion seems to be a little bit higher rated than they should be, but everything kind of works out on its own. You'll also notice these sexy, awesome logos here. That's a logo pack that I have added that you can download as well. It's just something I felt gives it a little bit more class to it. So every one of the leagues does have a custom logo if you choose to use the logo pack. I of course have, because that's what I do. But yeah, so you have Carolina, you have Reading United, are 2 teams that I think are on the rise. Birmingham Legion FC is a team I think is potentially going to drop, and I would like to see if someone could save them from, save them from making that drop. I mean, they're a professional side. It'll be interesting to see what people do. And lastly, the main reason I built this is you see here, United States homepage, currently 11th in the world. I want this to be number 1. I want the United States to be number 1 because that's how I roll. And I think it's possible. I have done some tests, and in one of my latest tests, United States actually won the World Cup in 2030. I was pretty excited about that. I just simulated through, and I think I was in 2034, and I noticed, hey, we went back, kind of looked through the history, and one of the reasons I wanted to do this was because I want the United States to, be one of the top clubs in the world, or one of the top countries in the world. And to do that, I think you'd have to have a strong league system, national league system, and I think that's what I've done. One thing I did not mention previously in the leagues is there are rules to teams. You can only have 10 foreign players on your squad. So I'm really trying to push the American, playing American talent in these. Now I know 10 foreign players is like you can almost field a whole starting 11 with all foreigners. If you want to do that, cool. But I do think in the end that all of the simulations I've done, you actually see America becoming a better power than they are now. And honestly, that's the reason I made this. So, I think this is it. This is something I've been working on since FM19. I released it last year for FM20 and put a ton of time into this. And I've been working since November 24th, so just over a month now, to get this thing ready to share to you. And it's ready. I'm so happy to be able to share it with you, and I hope you enjoy it. If for whatever reason you come across an error, hit me up on Twitter, links down below. I would really appreciate any kind of feedback on this. Yeah, if you find a bug or something, let me know. I'm going to try to fix it best I can. That's kind of how that is. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will answer every single comment. And I appreciate you guys, and thank you. All right, guys, thank you so much. That was my intro into my United States database that I've released. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for all the love. This has been a long time coming for me, and I'm glad to be able to share it. Again, as I mentioned, if you have any questions, pop them down below. Hit me up on Twitter. Slide into those DMs. That's what some people have already done. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.